So first off, for anybody that'd like to comment, make sure you go to Zen 101 comments and listen to that first. I'll also start off by saying that Dr. Sebi's ideas are wonderful and great, and everything he speaks about being a vegetarian is absolutely correct. But then there becomes this. These are always advanced concepts for people, and this is the same reason people that don't listen to what I'm talking about when I'm speaking about these concepts to do with the inorganic world. Whenever I'm speaking about veganism and these ideas of knowing for yourself and not having to have some outside hero program running for you. And there's a few things that are I scratch my head in confusion at some of the things this dude says. First off, I'll give you an idea of what's happening, what he's used as. It's the same thing as everything else that becomes popularized. It gets steered in a direction for a reason, and I want to make this connection to even what the vegan thing is and the natural and artificial worlds, and the things that are getting removed from the table of nature, your plate of what you can be provided from nature. Let me first give you a couple ideas of the things that he says do not consume. He says do not consume. Now, I might be wrong about some of these, but this is just because there's many sources of information for what he says, but I've heard some of this out of his mouth. Do not consume cinnamon, vanilla, turmeric, or cumin, or now right there, I'm like, the healthiest people on the planet come from this place called India, and they're Gujarati, and they practice Jainism. A lot of them. It's about 50 million of them. They've been around for a very long time. And one of the staples, food they consume, or I wouldn't call it a food, but is something called golden milk, and it's a combination of turmeric, cinnamon. I see. These are like, and he makes false claims on these things about how they're too acidic or they're too, they're hybrids, and he's really missing a lot. He's not wrong about, because he's encouraging people to eat fruits and vegetables. I'm all for that. But there's a lot of fruits and vegetables he takes off of the menu. Now, it's things like, what is he recently? Almonds and walnuts. And this is so funny because the other day I made a video on how the ridiculousness of not consuming almonds, and then it seems like he's saying don't consume walnuts either. Walnuts literally look like the brain. It has the little left and right hemisphere there. So you've got the blood-brain barrier. It has all of the oils that are good for the brain. But because the walnut is acidic, it's something like 3 as acidic, don't consume it. That's insane to me. Absolutely insane. So there's all of these things you can't consume. Spinach on his diet, or celery. Look at this. You don't consume celery, even though celery, as nature will provide you with the sign of nature. It's called food signatures. It's a mimicry of the human body. It has the same sodium content as the bones. It looks like a bone, snaps like a bone. Celery. Don't consume it because it has inorganic salt, he says. Inorganic salt? But then he says to go and use sea salt. Sea salt is inorganic salt. Does he not know what inorganics means? I'm very confused here. Now, to say don't consume celery because it has inorganic salt, how did that happen? I eat celery. I don't taste inorganic salt in there. I don't know. I mean, I know there's sodium in it, but I know it's organic sodium because what happens between inorganic and organic sodium is it becomes carbon bonded, or is somehow celery extracting inorganic sodium out of the earth? I don't think so. I could be wrong on this, but I really highly doubt it. there's such a huge. He says don't consume beets. That's insane. The beets are good for your heartbeat. It's red like blood. It's one of the healthiest things on the planet. I mean, we're talking about things, especially the turmeric thing. That's to me insane. Turmeric has been even the people in the scientific communities have still kind of got on the, hey, yeah, turmeric is a pretty good thing. Let's extract some things out of that and give you pills based upon the makeup of what turmeric is. So, yeah, I mean, this dude looks like a toothpick. I mean, what's he eating? I don't know his diet. I mean, like, maybe he's missing some of the elements of these foods that he needs. Maybe because they get on this alkaline kick. I mean, this really feeds into this alkaline acid thing. That's alkaline everything. Your stomach has an acidic level of about 2 to 5, and that acid in your stomach is there for a reason. It's to break down foods. And this is the reason that whenever you're eating, you can consume a glass of wine. Why? Because a glass of wine has about the same acidic level as your stomach acid. So it's going to help to break the food down. You wouldn't consume water because it would be moving that pH towards a higher alkaline level. And so, but then it gets confusing. Don't consume lemons, he says, but consume limes. I've used lemons for a very long time. Very beneficial. I've watched people heal all sorts of things with lemons. But then the confusing part is, well, that's of a high pH. Oh, but it's going to cause an alkaline ash and blah blah blah. But he says don't use lemons. See, now this is the thing about this. Oh, well, he's healing cancer. He's healing, but you know how many other people are doing this? And he's not doing that. It's the plant life that is. But then you latch on to this idea that, oh, whatever he says goes. And here's the dilemma with that. Is now there's all of these, now you got a whole list of foods you can't eat. Like we already got the note, you can't have, the almonds are no good because it has cyanide in it. Oh, we've got a whole list of foods that are just become no good. And it's so far from the truth. If it's growing out there in nature, it's good. Go eat it. Go eat it. Have at it. And this even gets into like, I've given many a talk on alcohol. Let's get into kombucha or apple cider vinegar. Oh, don't have apple cider vinegar. That's too high of a pH, or too low of a pH. It's too acidic. But the acid is actually what's in your stomach. It's good for you. It's a constructive acid. Oh, you can't have apples according to him? Apples? Now apples are no good? Because it has an inorganic compound in it or something? Which I don't know where this information comes from. But apples, applesauce, very healthy. Apple cider vinegar, apple juice, has malic acid, which is a constructive acid in the body. I've watched people fix so many things with apple juice. And this is just the insanity of it. And it's not that he's telling you to do something wrong, but he's boxing in things, and it's just one more step in this direction. And as what I've been trying to explain to these vegans, is that it's steering things towards and tiptoeing towards removing all of the organics from the world, and that it becomes all driven by the inorganics. Now, I'm not suggesting that's what he's doing. I'm not suggesting he's part of a plot. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is it becomes useful. He becomes a piece in the whole larger thing. Saying, hey, okay, well, here's somebody that everybody respects, and he's telling them not to eat all of these foods. We find a couple more people like that along the line. All of a sudden, we're going to have a list of foods that people can't eat. Now all of a sudden, you combine that with all of these alkaline, everything's got to be alkaline, and because nobody sees it, nobody sees the problems with that. The body needs acids. You need to burn things off. Why do you think you have stomach acid? You keep throwing alkaline in there, you're doing your body a disservice. There's plenty of reason to use digestives. There's plenty of reasons to use. I mean, it's a cleansing agent. See, now you got that tied in with the alkaline community. People just like, oh, you got to go raw this, vegan. And I seen somewhere that he said that you can cook food up to any temperature and it won't destroy the nutrition of it. But that's just untrue. You're destroying all sorts of things by cooking certain vegetation. Why do you think if you cook something above pasteurization, what happens with pasteurization? You're literally killing the enzymes. So that's bizarre. So that's just not true. That's another absolute fallacy claim. And now back to this thing. You tie this in with the alkaline, and then you tie it in with the vegan thing, and all of a sudden we become 5 years down the line. You know, if it keeps going this way, and it's not even going to take that long. Watch another year. You're going to have a larger list of foods that you can't eat. Combined with, it's got to be alkaline. So now we're getting rid of all the acid. We've just all of a sudden split everything off right in the middle. So everything's alkaline. This is that Kangen water nonsense. Because it's alkaline, even though it's not even water. I mean, I've already done videos on this. Now throw that in with all of the movement towards veganism. Don't hurt animals. And then we're going to find some of these plant life. Oh, there's too much. You know, we had to have fertilizer, which came from animals. We can't have animal shit anymore because we don't want to harm animals. Can we collect their shit? No. Okay. Well, we can make it. This is just tiptoeing in that direction. Now, I'm not saying that he's specifically doing anything, but certainly it's bizarre, idiotic, to a very high level. I haven't looked into the whole thing he promotes, but it certainly is. And I'm not saying he's not curing AIDS and cancer. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's 1,000 other ways to do it, and they all include vegetation, fruits and vegetables. So why specify? Why make it so specific? Why? Well, if I'm sitting here and I say, hey, just eat everything in nature, whatever out there, just have at it. And then somebody goes, well, you can't have these 5 things right here. And come with me and I'll show you exactly how to cure your cancer. And the person goes, oh, well, seems like he knows more than you. He knows what I can't have. And then you go on a diet that's prescribed specifically by the doctor. By the doctor. There he is, the hero, the doctor of the year. He's the hero concept. And you cure your cancer. Because of course you will. Now all of a sudden he knows something that I don't know. Where what I'm saying is like, no, actually you could have done exactly what he's doing and included those 5 other foods and you wouldn't have had any problems. Apparently you can't have broccoli. Can't have cauliflower. Well, that's weird. It's a strange one. Can't have... Really? Like, the craziest to me is the turmeric, the root turmeric, and like all of the things that... I might as well just here. Let me pause it and bring up some of the things you can't eat. It'll be fun here. Okay, here's some fun ones. Okay, carrots and celery and broccoli, potatoes, rice, aloe vera, wheatgrass, spinach, lemons, cauliflower, turmeric, beets, peppermint, beans, garlic, any seedless fruit, most nuts. Okay, spinach has the nutritional value of eating paper. Now this person's channel is a vegan and he had researched this stuff very well for a while. Let's see what else. He says, let's see, there's countless studies that show the benefits of many of these hybrid foods. Every banana, grape, orange, apple, pear, just name a fruit, is a hybrid. Let's see, where's this other fun stuff he says? It's right down here. Broccoli sprouts, turmeric, lemons, let's see. Aloe vera. The only oranges you're allowed to eat are sour oranges, and all other oranges are poisonous. Only tomatoes are plum and cherry. No other tomatoes. So, that is insane. Like from the context of all vegetarian cultures across the planet, and
of what I have knowledge of and what seems to be simple, as I like to make things simple because I'm not selling the Zen 4,550 deluxe package of how to consume the product, the world properly. Like, I'm not selling that to anyone. He's selling an idea. He's selling a and I don't know that he's doing it on purpose. I don't, good for him if people are getting healthier, but it's not in the larger construct and larger confine. I just go back to this thing. I'm like, really? You can't eat those things? That's really insane. Aloe vera? Aloe vera is so good for the body. Lemons? Turmeric? Peppermint? Peppermint? That's insane. Garlic. One of the best things to remove parasites from the body. One of the most amazing things you can use, garlic. Now we're talking. There's so many things on here that are basically the staples to the Indian diet, to the vegetarian Indian diet. And he's saying, don't eat those things. Potatoes. There we go. Here, what's part of the Indian diet? Pretty much potatoes. What else we got there? Rice. Yeah. Spinach. There we go. Cauliflower, right in there. Turmeric, yep. Garlic, there we go. Most nuts are, yes. Okay, that's he's basically saying that his claim would mean that entire culture should be dead or very sick and diseased. Yet, those people are they're beautiful, they're in great shape. They're like, 50 million people in Gujarat that are a good portion of them for thousands of years have been Jain. It's like basically do no harm to anything. And you're telling me that these products are no good. And see, that's I don't know any other way to say it. It's like people get ahead of themselves. Like, if this is, I just want to repeat this idea that, yes, by eating all of the other things, you'll be healthy just as well. But to exclude these, it only makes him seem like he knows something that other people don't know, which is, to me, absolutely faulty. To me, whenever I look at pictures of him, I'm like, he's looking pretty beat up and old. And I'm not cracking him. I'm just like, he's looking pretty skinny and frail. Maybe he's missing something from his diet. Maybe these things, these nuts, which have oils, which would probably help him and his skinny, frail body out. Like, I don't know, but I certainly see if he's practicing his own diet, that it doesn't seem to be doing him too much of a good. Like, and I don't know the whole thing about how he died. I don't know the whole thing, because there's it said tuberculosis, and then you get to know, like, no, that's not how he died. It's irrelevant. What we're talking about here is just the claims that are being made. And it always gets back to this, this alkaline acid thing and this inorganic, organic thing. The idea that he says to use sea salt being an inorganic thing blows my mind. Because you shouldn't be consuming salt anyways. But then he says to do it. So for me, that's right away. Like, you don't know what you're talking about then. You can't, you make all of these giant, these giant claims that somehow I just look at this list and I go, this can't be for real. There's no way you can't eat these things. I should be dead on the floor because a lot of these things are a big part of my diet. I dated a girl for many years that was Indian. I ate a lot of Indian food. And in fact, I feel much healthier whenever I'm eating an Indian food diet. It's spinach, a big part of spinach, dal makhani, aloo gobi, have some potatoes. Like, to think that these things are, oh, okay. I'm just ranting, and it confuses me to such a high level that I become very I just try to teach people this thing in this way, to say, the whole bounty of the universe is yours. Do what you want. You know, have fun with it. That's the main ingredient in all of this. But when people start taking things away from what's nature has provided, then I'm really suspect of what the whole thing is, and I'm very much more concerned with how that fits into the larger perspective of taking away people's ability to be conscious creators themselves. Like I got another video of the dude on this silly vegan dude who doesn't listen to my whole video and comes to my page and has the audacity to make all of these ridiculous things, saying I want an excuse to kill animals. And anybody that's listened to me obviously knows I don't say that. He didn't listen to anything I said, and goes on this wild tangent. I actually respond to him and I say, hey, won't you give me at least the respect to listen to my video, and then comment back. No, he doesn't bother doing that. He just wanted to come and blast off on some vegan religious dogma and just tell me that I need to wake up. I'm not conscious. I need to wake up. I didn't realize I was sleeping. And it's so funny coming from here, somebody being very aware of the whole gambit. And I'm trying to give people that same awareness of saying, like, there's nothing wrong with Sebi. There's nothing wrong with veganism, until you start to get in a little deeper of how it fits into a larger agenda. Because there is a larger agenda. If anybody has been looking at the world, like, there's definitely a control agenda. There's definitely, that's always been going on. And these dictates that are coming from certain factions to eliminate your possibility of choice, of your own choice. Like, that's what it is. You need to have complete freedom of choice of whatever it is you like to do. And then you decide to make the choice that's healthy. But in this, it's saying, oh no, don't worry. Dr. Sebi knows. He's made the choices for me. And in the vegan community, don't worry, the vegan community has made the choice for me. That's the dilemma. That's the problem. That's what being conscious and aware is. That every situation calls for a different set of hey, here's how to play this game. And I'm going to make this video real soon, and the question is, I'll just remind people to ask themselves this: if you're a vegetarian, if you're a vegan, and you could sit down with 10 people that are meat eaters, and you could have a possibility of changing just one of them, would you eat meat? Would you eat their meal to sit down at their table, or would you be so, no, I can't hurt that animal. I can't kill that animal, even though it's already dead and be on your plate. And somehow, if even on that dead animal's there, you could save thousands more animals. Imagine that person at the other side of the table. That if you were to eat with them, to bond with them, could you do it? It's curious to me. But yeah, y'all have fun widening up and opening your choices and seeing that these things are not serving you or the greater good. These things are pulling away choices. They're pulling away truth. Okay, the insanity of nuts being no good is nuts. We'll talk soon, guys.